Python is good or R is good? When to use Python, when to use R? In which scenario Python is good compared to R, and in which scenario R is compared to Python? So today we are going to answer all such kind of questions. So first of all, we will go through these comparison parameters of R and Python, and then we will conclude that in which scenario which tool should be used. So let's go through these parameters one by one. So first of all, availability. So R and Python both are free and open source softwares. So they are easily available. Learning curve. So this is something which is depends on the individuals. Some will find R easier compared to Python, and some will find Python easier compared to R. But in overall or in general terms, R is easy and Python is easier. So learning curve of Python is bit easier compared to R in the general terms. Purpose. So R is heavily used as a statistical language, and Python is heavily used as a general purpose language, which means R will mostly be used for any study in which statistics has been involved. And in Python, you can go with creating games, creating exe modules, creating web applications, going for web scraping, statistical modeling, machine learning. Okay, so that's why Python is a general purpose language, whereas R is specific to statistic only, and hence it is a statistical language. Now, it does not mean that R does not have packages or libraries for, let's say, web scraping or API related stuff. Though R has these kind of libraries, but they are very low in terms of numbers as well as feature rich functionalities. Now, who are the users of R and Python? So for R, the users are researchers and statisticians specifically, whereas developers and programmers will use Python heavily because it is a general purpose language. Now, number of packages. So R has packages around 17,000, and the reason is like it is a statistical language. So all the packages contains either statistical related stuff or visualization related stuff, and that's why it is merely around 17,000 packages, but they are sufficient enough for all kind of statistical analysis. Whereas Python has more than 2.5 lakh packages, but the reason being it is a general purpose language. So it has all the packages from like web development, web scraping, machine learning, creating exe modules, creating games, all the purpose. Next is deep learning capabilities. So for R, it is lacking over here in deep learning because it needs Python to be installed on the system to work with deep learning libraries. So Python is the must for deep learning capabilities in R, whereas in Python it is very good. It is like you can use any deep learning packages like TensorFlow, Keras, PyTorch, anything with Python. NLP capabilities. So again, Python is good compared to R. Code indentation. So R does not follow any kind of code indentation. It is following curly braces. So whatever the conditions, if else, for loop, while loop you need to use curly braces and mention all the conditions in that. Whereas Python follows for spaces or one tab indentation. Visualization. So both the tools have very good libraries of visualization. So they both are good at this. Integration and deployment. So Python has more libraries, more feature rich functionalities compared to R, and hence in the integration and deployment Python is good compared to R. Coding standards. R does not follow any kind of coding standards, but yeah, Python follows PEP 8 coding standard. Speed. So in R, as the data size going to be increased, speed in R will be slow. So it is a RAM intensive tool when the data size is higher. And in such cases, we need to consider revolution analytics or MRAN RAM. On the another side, Python is good compared to R. We can go with Python as well. Now the conclusion is when to use R and when to use Python. So from my personal experience, R is good when you want to go with statistical analysis. So if you want to go with old school statistical analysis like applying linear regression, logistic regression, SVM, ADABEG, ADABoost, or all such kind of algorithms, statistical algorithms, in all those cases, R will work very well, and R has very good libraries packages for all those algorithms. So on all those scenarios, R will work good. But if you want to go with natural language processing or NLP capabilities, if you want to go with deep learning capabilities and integration and deployment, then in all those scenarios, Python will work very well compared to R. Also, like there are a few packages in R and Python as well, which will allow you to communicate between R and Python. So that's also feasible. That's it for the day. Thank you everyone for watching this video.